Hi everyone, today I want to show you one of the most important features, if not the most important feature of the Corbado Connect Management Console, and it's the funnel analysis, which you can find here on the left-hand side. The funnel analysis is basically a visual representation from all the client-side telemetry and signaling data that we collect in our SDKs and gives you a great overview about your system's health, where you can also see how your users actually go through your login funnel and basically interact with your Passkey implementation. There are three different funnels that you can analyze. The first one is the login funnel. The second one is the Passkey append funnel after a conventional login. And there's a third funnel overview about different other touch points where you can append a Passkey. You can analyze certain time windows. You can filter for a certain application, an operating system, and also if you are in the login funnel, you can specify if you only want to see a certain initiation method, for instance, the text field where you provide a username, click on a button and then start the web authentication. Then there's also the one-tap Passkey button that you can filter for and conditional UI. Below you find the most important KPIs overall. So for the login funnel, it's the Passkey usage rate and two fallback rates. And on the bottom is the heart where you see the tree basically that a user experiences when they are logging in. So they start on the very left and each node is a different screen or some decision point in your implementation where the user is either then forwarded to the next screen or can click something or can use the Passkey to log in. So let's go quickly back and have a look at the other two funnels. The append screen looks pretty much the same. The only difference is that you don't have the initiation method and also the KPIs have changed, but on the bottom, the funnel is the same. You can traverse from the left-hand side to the very right-hand side. And the third one, the append funnel. For additional touch points, it's we have an after error append funnel. Basically, when there was a Passkey error, we try to auto heal this and offer the creation of a new Passkey. Then there's the after hybrid funnel. So whenever you've used your phone to log in with the Passkey on the phone on a desktop by scanning a QR code using a Bluetooth proximity check, we ask on this desktop device to also create a Passkey. This is this funnel. And there's another funnel for the Passkey list, which is usually situated in the account settings. And there you can also then append a Passkey, and this is displayed in here. I brought three use cases that we internally heavily used with the Passkey analysis funnel, where use case number 2 is by far the one which is the most interesting. But let's start with the very basic one. And use case number 1, usually this is one that you take a look when you just finished your implementation. Now you want to see if things work in your testing or pilot phase. So what you're doing there is basically you start on the very left hand side in the append funnel. You see there's a completed conventional login, and then you check if the system is healthy by going through the different stages. So first of all, is the user included in the gradual rollout sample? Yes, the gradual rollout was allowed. Then did your internal decision intelligence, in our case, it's Passkey intelligence, allow the user to create a Passkey? So was it offered? And hopefully there's also a bunch of users who then successfully can append a Passkey. And in here, you would also see kind of the append rates for the number of screens that a user has seen until they actually created a Passkey. So the very first thing is actually to go for this happy path to check if the green path works, if there are users who can successfully append a Passkey. And then when you move from this initial implementation verification to the adoption stage, you can then take a look also at the other nodes here and see why there was no Passkey created or it was aborted, and then look into more depth. That's use case number 1. Use case number 2, it's in the login funnel. So let me open the login funnel. And this is a very interesting use case because at Corbado, we heavily optimize for the adoption of Passkeys. And also one of the core metrics that we look at is the overall authentication success rate. And we don't stop at Passkeys, but we also include other fallback methods, be it a password, an OTP, which we can include into the funnel. And in here, our goal is now to optimize the overall authentication success rate and also see how much better Passkeys are actually performing versus fallback authentication. So when we start here on the very left-hand side, we see all logins, Passkeys, passwords, OTPs, and can also see the authentication success rate, which is in this case 91.2%. Then if we go to the next stage, we see, okay, hey, there's users who don't have a passkey yet, and we see the login success rate for those who need to log in with a fallback method. In this demo data set, it's much lower than the login success rate for users who have at least one passkey. So that's already a great indication that passkeys actually improve the login success rate of your system. Now, the good thing is that you can take a deeper look into those metrics by clicking on the nodes. You would see for this particular node where there's at least one passkey existing, the login success rate over the filtered period. So 1 week, we have 95.2%. We could see how this has changed over the past 12 months and also see the average value. Moreover, we can compare how this number has changed either on a monthly base. If we take a look in here, we would see the completion rate on a monthly base. And here on the bottom, we would also then see quite interestingly also the change. So in here, we see in this demo data set quite a big drop. That's usually a strong indication that there was something odd and we should investigate, maybe an operating system update which broke something or something else, which here in this case boosted again the authentication success rate. You can also check that on a 30-day base and then also see, okay, here the drops are not that big, but still something which is quite valuable and also helps you to find any days where things then have suddenly changed. Besides clicking on one of those nodes, you can also click on the edges. And on the edges, you would get a similar view. You can see how many of your users now have at least created one passkey. Hopefully, this number is constantly increasing. So right now we have 58.9% in this demo data set of users who have a passkey. So they are either offered a passkey if possible. And we can see the trend again and also the average over the past 12 months. Again, this is something hopefully which constantly grows if we see something like this year in April 2025 when we have a decline. And there are for some reasons many users now without a passkey. That's something usually you should investigate and proactively work on because that might be an issue with that affects multiple other users. So again, this is some great thing that you can take a look at. Also, what we have included is kind of a signaling in here. So in this case, if you see those 3 red triangles and hover over them, you would get some more contextual information. So in this case, there's a strong indication that this node contributes to most of the authentication failures. So if we translate it to the business, then we see, okay, hey, most of the authentication is related to a fallback method to users who don't have a passkey. So we should get more of those to at least have one passkey because then also the overall success rate of the authentication is better. So this is use case number 2. And then let's go to use case number 3. And this is something where we use to optimize our cross-device authentication. This is the CDA here, offer passkey login via CDA. We see this login success rate again. And now we want to check how many of those cross-device authentications, scanning a QR code using Bluetooth proximity check, actually are completed. We see, hey, in this case, it's 42.4%, which is a bit low, I would say. And then we see also for the CDA skipped after error, it's 24.9%. It's quite a high error rate. And also many users, 32.7%, actually skip it. So a strong indication that we need to optimize our copy and need to either educate the users better or change things and also look into these errors. Why is that so high? Because then also the login rate, success rate drops. And this is something also that we then should investigate on because that might be some users who can't log in, who just abandon the login, and something that might affect also more users. So these were 3 pretty good examples and use cases that I brought to you. In the end, there's hundreds of other use cases how you can actually make use of the Passkey funnel in order to optimize for the Passkey activation rate, the Passkey login rate, and also minimize the passcode error rate. And then in the end, hopefully have something which is highly adopted by the users. And it's a very well-working implementation without any errors and a high authentication success rate. And I think there is also the possibility to come up with new use cases that you would like to implement or new customizations. Just reach out to us. We can customize that for you. And it's one of the greatest features, I would say, from the Corbado Management Console.